Right. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being in this class with me. And today is going to be a lot of relaxation, not too much effort, no struggle, just sitting back, relax, and letting this come to you. Open yourself up for a whole different experience of yourself in this present moment. And it's always very subtle, actually, what to teach. Like, it's very subtle, a very little thing you can take a look at, which becomes like a key to enter heaven's door again. Or, it's like it just first seems like, oh yeah, that's good to remember. But then suddenly you see, oh, it is actually a portal. It's actually a possibility to enter into a whole different experience of yourself. And so today is not any different in that sense. It is, okay, we're going to sit down, sit with each other for a moment, and let everything that the world tells us go. And what we think about the world, we let go. We're going to relax deep into ourselves, into our withinness, into the emptiness, or into the void, like we said the other day, into that where no words, when nothing that is connected to the words or to the world is present anymore. Because this moment, pure in itself, perfect in itself, doesn't need any of that to be perfect, to be whole. So, and this is you in your Christhood. This is you in your Christ mind. And there is no difference between you and your Christ mind anymore than when you enter in with complete empty hands. So the exercise is to relax, to sit back, and let this all affect you in a way that you have no comprehension of, in a way that you're not used to. Like, this can always become a deeper and deeper experience to you. And that is where your commitment is. You actually want that. And that's what you actually are looking for, no matter what is occurring, because you would love to dissolve into wholeness. You love to be swept away by love and by light. That's actually where your soul or where your heart is asking for. So there are so many ways to take a look at that, and there's so many ways to help you. There's so many tools available, and some will be offered in this class. So I will use a little bit of the Course in Miracles, because we are using this in this class for, say, the undoing of the way that you're used to thinking, for instance. So it's for the undoing of that. And we continue, like in day 4, the day 4 of the review of the Course in Miracles, first 50 lessons. And there will be a little bit of Joel, and there will be a bit of Bible too, John 17. I'm going to take a little piece out of that. And why do I do that? Because, like, the references that I'm offering are not just references. They are actually possibilities for you to have a revelation of what it actually means. These are portals into the reality of who you really are. Like, it is, in other words, it is a possibility to come in touch with a direct communication of the love of God, like direct communication with all that is. Direct communication that is being presented in this present moment for you, in you, with you. And so I will start reading a little bit from John 17, just just because this is all about that love in which you are dissolving in your Christ mind. It is literally a glorification of all that is. And in such a lovely way that that if you would let yourself be affected by it, you can literally feel that communicating with you. So that's what I love about reading the Bible. So John 17 is a part in the chapter of in John's Gospel that is actually Jesus is praying his ascension prayer, and so you can feel that is already a whole different energy. You are in a process of ascension. You are literally in the process of ascension, and your body is connected to that. Your idea about yourself is connected to it. But the ascension has an in a certain way like a light sense in it. Like it is like uplifting to hear about it. It is not heavy, or it's not depressing, or it's not. No, it has actually nothing to do with matter whatsoever. So I'm going to read you a little bit of that just because of the loveliness of it. And this is John 17, and this is the 20th verse. Neither do I pray only for them, but also for these who are trusting in me by their word, that they all shall be one, just as you, my Father, are in me, and I am in you, so that they also shall be one in us, so that the world shall believe that you have sent me. And I have given them the glory that you have given me, so that they shall be one, just as we are one. I in them, and you in me, so that they shall be perfected as one. And so that the world shall know that you have sent me, and that you have loved them just as you have also loved me. Father, I will that these whom you have given me, that where I am, they shall also be with me, that they shall see my glory, which you have given me, because you have loved me from before the foundation of the world. I in them, and you in me, so that they shall be perfected as one. So, and when is that going to happen? So that what is being given in this instant is what that is. It's like, yes, I in them, and like I'm in you, I am in God, and you are with me in that. That is all included in. So this is basically your function as a Christ mind in that sense. It's a matter of inclusion, of seeing that everything is connected in this present moment. Everything is connected in you, and that connection is like your vertical realization of who you really are. So this is, to me, like heart melting, because it is so intimate. It is so close to you. It is literally dissolving all boundaries that you can put up, or that you have put up, so you can let them go in this instant, to feel that you're literally immersed into the love that is present right in this instant. It's literally the perfection. It is being perfected in this present moment. And so there you can say, okay, that's difficult for me. I don't really, I got my obstructions, I got my reserve, I got my resistance, or whatever. This is another opportunity to make another decision. It's like in this whole endeavor, in this whole path that we're on, you can decide over and over what you want. It is like you you are used to struggling as a human being because your focus is on survival. As long as that is your focus, as long as that is your goal. But if you come to realize that something else is occurring at the same time, and that there's a possibility for you to decide again, and that basically you are the one that can make the decision, then it becomes a whole different story. Like it's not depending on a God that doesn't come to you anymore, or that you're like a victim of a God that doesn't come to you. So that is, see, I can say these words and it can be sound so easy then, but this is, you literally live this, you live out, or you overcome your resistance. And that can take a moment, because I don't know what your resistance to it is. But basically, as a human being, you are what resistance is. You are the resistance to the love of God, because you literally created a world in which you're going to say research or try to find out how it is to be without God. So when you're done with that, when you get to the end of that, when you're sick and tired, literally, of your own ideas, you can make another choice. So in a moment, we shall bring in the whole idea of your decision, to what are you actually committed to? And can you really decide for this? We're going to bring that in using another couple of texts that will make this clear. So the resistance is also being, like, you can train your mind in overcoming that resistance, or discovering how you're actually thinking. And I have used so far in this class, I used the review of the first 50 lessons of A Course in Miracles. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So this is day 4, because this is class 4. Day 4 of the review, I'm going to read that out loud to see, like, oh yeah, wait a minute. Oh, I forgot about that. Like, yes, indeed. Oh, you know, you will get some realization of what you're actually doing with your mind. So I hope you can enjoy this too. So sit back and relax. You don't have to do anything. This is about recognition, about remembering, about like, oh, yes, indeed. I have no neutral thoughts. Neutral thoughts are impossible because all thoughts have power. They will either make a false world or lead me to the real one. But thoughts cannot be without effects. As the world I see arises from my thinking errors. See, here we are. As the world I see arises from my thinking errors, so will the real world rise before my eyes as I let my errors be corrected. My thoughts cannot be neither true nor false. They must be one or the other. What I see shows me which they are. I see no neutral things. What I see witnesses to what I think. If I did not think, I would not exist, because life is thought. Let me not look on the world I see as the representation of my own state of mind. I know that my state of mind can change. And so I also know the world I see can change as well. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. I have no private thoughts. If I have no private thoughts, I cannot see a private world. Even the mad idea of separation had to be shared before it could form the basis of the world I see. Yet that sharing was a sharing of nothing. I can also call upon my real thoughts, which share everything with everyone. As my thoughts of separation call to the separation thoughts of others, so my real thoughts awaken the real thoughts in them. And the world my real thoughts show me will dawn on their side as well as mine. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. I am alone in nothing. Everything I think or see or do teaches all the universe. A son of God cannot think or speak or act in vain. He cannot be alone in anything. It is therefore in my power to change every mind along with mine, for mine is the power of God. I am determined to see. Recognizing the shared nature of my thoughts, I am determined to see. I would look upon the witnesses that show me the thinking of the world has been changed. I would behold the proof that what has been done through me has enabled love to replace fear, and laughter to replace tears, and abundance to replace loss. I would look upon the real world and let it teach me that my will and the will of God are one. So my will and the will of God are one. I want to see that. That's my decision. I want to see that. I want to see that my will and the will of God are one. See, and that is also like a declaration of your love for God. I love your love for God. I'm very happy that you join me because of your love for God. Otherwise, you would not be listening to this. So it's like, Joel says it too in a minute. I'll read that to you too, because it all falls into place so nicely, and that's so beautiful if you start to see that. It is like, no, you're not able, say, your love doesn't have to come from another being, another person here. It's like in your loving God is the recognition of your brother loving God. It's like you don't need your brother to love you like in the classical way of loving, I would say. It's like, no, it is not that. It is like in you loving God, you start to resonate with the ones that are loving God. You recognize them. You start communicating with them. Okay, let me read that from Joel too, because it's exactly what he's saying. Let me see. Conscious union with God, the realization of God as Father or as the creative principle, the realization of God as support and supply, the realization of God as the health of our countenance, the realization that our sufficiency is of God, the realization that only God can love, and therefore we must not look for man for love, but let God's love flow through us to man, and then claim no reward for it, because it is of God and not of us. I love that. So it's like you don't have to wait for somebody to love you. No, it's like you, when you come into your communication with who you really are, with the love of God, with the extension, you become an extension of the love of God. And you don't need somebody to love you. No, you're extending it, and you literally start to resonate with the ones that love God or that need to the extension of the love of God. So you get in touch with a possibility to give unconditionally to the ones that you meet, because you can't stop yourself, because you feel the love of God within you. So that makes everything so easy, because you never have to doubt again if somebody loves you or not. So it's literally not your concern. It is not from you. Like you extend the love that you are, the love that's been given by God. You extend it into this world, and with that you keep that love flowing through you, and so that will transform your whole world. But you don't have to receive it from the world itself. It's like, not that everybody has to hate you, that's not what I mean, but it's more like it's not your concern anymore to have that. Your only concern is to extend it by being in communication with God, by having your still moments in which you have a spontaneous experience of the love of God. And yes, indeed, I'm talking again about love, like, because that is what you are. So it is not that I have to teach you that you are the love of God. It's like, no, there's an invitation to join me in the love of God. Because there is where we meet. There's just no other way. So by you coming in communication with the love of God, it automatically extends and our minds start to communicate naturally. I don't even need words to express that, but you will just feel it. So that's so great. That's so lovely. I still had a little bit. See, there's always too much material, and I don't necessarily need to use the books and use this and that. But for me, it's so much fun to share it with you and show you how, for me, they all fall into place. But just, you see that there's only one voice speaking. There's only one of us awakening, and that's you, that's me. And this is also a great idea. It's from the book, The Way of Transformation. You see it in a mirrored view. I've shared with you many times that to awaken as Christ requires that you begin your journey as Christ. It is not possible to transform yourself in order to become Christ, but it is possible to simply accept the idea of truth, and then let that be the foundation from which your life expresses itself, so that you begin to think with Christ, so that you begin to breathe with Christ, so that you begin to envision with Christ. So the way of transformation is not a process of changing the unworthiness in you to the point where finally you're knocking at heaven's door. So it is not an improvement system. It's not a way of improving yourself until you're worthy enough to enter heaven. Rather, the way of transformation, or the infinite way of the heart, rests on your decision to accept the truth that is true always. I and my Father are one. Now that that's out of the way, how would a Christ live in this dimension? How would a Christ bring himself or herself to each moment of experience? What voice would Christ listen to? What vision would he serve? And here's a very important line. The struggle to awaken is the very obstacle to its accomplishment. The struggle to awaken is its very obstacle to its accomplishment. And that's why why the 5 minutes as Christ was given you as a very simple exercise. And if indeed you desire Christ above all things, would you not participate in it each day? For that which you desire and love is that which pulls your attention to it. If you love Christ and let Christ pull you, so to speak, attract you to spend 5 minutes a day in the realization that you can only be what you are created to be. See, I love that too. So this is about attraction and not the law of attraction or something like that. I'm not talking about the law of attraction. No, this is about the attraction. It becomes so attractive to you that it is like you literally cannot stop yourself from doing the exercises that are given by taking moments of quiet and entering deeply into your stillness and taking a little extra step in that, not as a struggle, but more as a discovery. You want to discover what is next, what is like right in front of you. What does it mean, what's being spoken of? You want to experience it. And so here a nice point was made too. It's like, so this is not an improvement. This is not a way to improve yourself, to polish yourself up to like a nice and shiny Christ. No, it is a recognition. It's literally you start to recognize that that is who you are, and that whatever you thought you were is not what you are, and is absolutely useless in that sense, and is over, and you literally have no interest in it anymore. So it doesn't pull your attention anymore. But if it still pulls your attention, that is what you want. Okay, so I got one more piece to read, and that is coming also from A Course in Miracles, which is one of my favorite lessons too. It's like the power of decision is your own. The power of decision is your own. I'll read that lesson 152. I'll read a paragraph or two out of it. See which part I've selected again. I will start reading at the eighth paragraph. Let us today be truly humble and accept what we have made as what it is. The power of decision is our own. Decide but to accept your rightful place as co-creator of the universe, and all you think you made will disappear. What rises to awareness then will be all that there ever was, eternally as it is now. And it will take the place of self-deceptions made but to usurp the altar to the Father and the Son. Here again, today we practice true humility, abandoning all the false pretense by which the ego seeks to prove it's arrogant. Only the ego can be arrogant. Only your human condition can be arrogant. But truth is humble in acknowledgement. But truth is humble in acknowledging its mightiness, its changelessness, and its eternal wholeness, all encompassing. God's perfect gift to his beloved Son. The power of decision is our own, and we accept of him that which we are, and humbly recognize the Son of God. To recognize God's Son implies as well that all self-concepts have been laid aside and recognized as false. The power of decision is my own. This day I will accept myself as what my Father's will created me to be. See, and then the exercise is to wait in silence. Then we wait in silence. So it's like the word humble is being used a lot of times, like 3 times in a couple of paragraphs. It is a humility and not like obedience in terms of going on your knees and waiting for very mighty gods to do something to you. No, this is by stepping back out of your human arrogance, leaving all your self-deceptions behind, and becoming completely open for a whole new experience of yourself. So nothing what happened before is you need in this present moment. Nothing that you thought about yourself is helpful in this moment. Not even your ideas about God are helpful. Not your ideas about what you're actually doing are helpful. No, you have just no idea how this is going to be presented to you. And this is your open minded attitude in true humility, like in being completely humble, stepping back out of it in order for you to create a space where a spontaneous experience can come to you. So, yeah, you can breathe that in, you can relax deeper. There's no effort on your part, there's just humility and waiting, like you have to come up with an um, with a patience. So here we are starting to communicate together, leaving everything behind that we don't need, we don't value that anymore. We do a little experiment by letting these things go, by allowing ourselves to sink deeper in ourselves, to experience something completely different. I and my Father are one. This is not a mere sentence, but this is a revelation to you. If you actually start to hear what it says, I and my Father are one. It's like it is your portal out of here, out of your human imperfection, so to speak. It is a confirmation of your perfection. But that confirmation isn't just as what you think it is. It is a possibility for you to have a revelation of it. So I hope this is helpful to you. And thank you so much for taking time to let this come to you and breathe this in with me and communicating with me in this. So I'm very grateful that you are here and that you took time to listen to me. Okay, thank you so much and I hope to see you soon.